Well, today we had our 13th annual Honor Our Veterans Luncheon, which is an annual event that Askennonia hosts, and we invite all the veterans to come out to be our guests, and we invite the general community to come to honor the vets. Sort of had a bit of a coup. We were able to invite and convince Ted Barris to come to Midland and to deliver his program entitled Breaking the Silence.
Breaking the Silence, the title of the most recent book, addresses the problem that most people face when attempting to get a veteran in the family or a friend who's a veteran to talk about the memories of the wartime experience. For some reason, or for a lot of reasons, they are loath to speak about their experiences. Canadians don't brag about their wartime experiences. Men don't tell their wives or sons or daughters about it for fear that they may break down and feel less masculine, less able to control their emotions, and so they don't get into that minefield psychologically.
July the 17th, 1944, there was a red tick in the margin. And I said, "Charlie, what's that red tick next to July the 17th? He said, "Oh, that's nothing." Well, my antennae went up. As a journalist and a historian, I knew there was something there, and I knew I had to get it. Charlie says he was up stooging around. That's Air Force talk for looking for trouble. And he was up with his mate, Steve Randall, and they're on their way back to the station, and they suddenly see a staff car screaming through the woods. One of those German staff cars roaring down a road. Charlie comes down. This is a painting depicting it. Charlie comes down with his wingmate, Steve Randall, opens fire, drives it off the road, and just as quickly is back in the clouds and gone. Because if this guy's important in the staff car, Charlie doesn't want to hang around to wait to find out. Charlie lands at B4 station, still in France, and the radios are buzzing. Why? Because a South African pilot, an American pilot, and a British pilot are all claiming that moments ago they have just strafed a vehicle in which none other than the Desert Fox, Erwin Rommel, was riding. And that incident drove Rommel out of the war. And Charlie just took a little red pen and marked next to it July the 17th. And that's all he ever made note of. Until I came along and pushed and pushed and pushed, and he finally described it.
The other part of the silence that I allude to in my talk is the silence that we impose on them by not asking them questions. I mean, we do the whole remembrance thing with the silence, and it's symbolic and it's reverent and it's out of respect, but it's leaving huge gaps, and it's not asking the veterans to share with us what they went through. And I think if we don't do that, we're not allowing the next generation to know the truth. We're not allowing the veterans and giving them the opportunity to speak what's been buried inside a long time or a short time. And I think we're failing our country in not passing along the legacy of those stories that are so precious and so historic.
And that ties nicely into a program that we've got going here in cooperation at Askennonia, in cooperation with the Huronia Museum in the Midland Secondary School. It's called the Oral History of Huronia Project. And so that's about getting people to tell their stories and to get those stories archived.
I wish my father had shared some of the experiences that he had as a medic in the American Army during the Second World War with me. There were millions of opportunities, I just didn't take them. If someone were hesitant about telling his or her story, I would suggest that maybe they talk about somebody else, that they share an experience that they witnessed. But if they at least share something that they experienced in some fashion, then I think they're serving history. I think they're serving their families and serving Canada by doing that.